Welcome back. In this lesson, which is part 4 of adding authentication to YelpCamp, we're going to add the logout logic. We're also going to prevent anyone from accessing the new comment form without being signed in. And in the second part of the video, we're going to focus on the navbar. Right now we have a navbar. These links don't work, so the first step is to make them work. And then the second feature is to only show the necessary links at any given time. So we should never see login, sign up, and log out. If we're not signed in, we should see login and sign up, but not log out. And if we are signed in, we only want to see log out. So we'll be implementing that logic at the end of the video. To start, let's add our logout route. So the way that logout works is that it's just a GET request. So we'll add logout route, and in here it's an app.get/logout function with our request and our response. And all we have to do is use the request.logout that we get for free. So we didn't have to write this ourselves. This comes from the packages we have installed, and that's it. However, we do want to redirect somewhere. So let's redirect to /campgrounds. And that's it. We now have our logout route. Nice and easy. Now let's open up the navbar, and that's inside of views, partials, and then that's in the header. And what we want to do is just make these links go to the right routes. So login is /login, sign up is /register, and logout is /logout. And let's start the server. No errors. Refresh the page. Let's make sure these work. So I can log in, and I'll log in as Severus with password as my password. And you'll notice we don't have the navbar here, so we should do that next. Add in the navbar. But now I should be able to log out, and if it works, I should be redirected back to the campgrounds page. So before we forget, let's go and add the layout files, the header and footer partials, to the login and register forms. So I'll stop the server, and let's open up another file. Let's just open up the campgrounds index. So C9 views /campgrounds/index. And we'll just take this and steal it. And we'll put that on the login form up top. And we won't actually style anything yet with Bootstrap. And then we'll do the same thing with the footer. And if we run this right now, and we try and visit that login form, we have a problem. And the problem is that we use the exact same path, /partials/header, that we used inside of the index.ejs for campgrounds, but we're not inside that directory. So let me show you what I mean. Inside of campgrounds, to access the partials and the header file, we have to go back one level and then into the partials directory and then into the header.ejs file. But where we are right now on our login form, we're not inside of a separate directory. All we have to do is /partials again, restart and refresh. Now we get the navbar up here. Let's copy this over to register and the footer as well, and we'll save. And we should now have those forms on both. So I can go to sign up, log in, and if I click log out right now, it will log me out. Excellent. So the next thing I want to focus on is not letting a user add a comment if a user is not logged in. So right now I'm not logged in. I shouldn't be able to see this form at all. And what we want to happen is if a user clicks this button, an unauthenticated user clicks it, he or she should see the login form. And if the user is logged in, then he or she should be able to add a comment. So let's do that now. So we need to go back to our app.js, and this is where we need to add in a middleware. And I'll just define it at the very bottom. Is logged in. And if you want a review of how this works in depth, go back to the last video of the last unit where I talk more about it. But a middleware, we need those 3: request, response, and next, which is the function that is going to be called after this middleware. And then we'll check if request.is authenticated. If that's the case, then we'll just move on to the next thing, which in our case would be moving on to rendering the new campground or the new comment form. Otherwise, redirect to login. So res.redirect/login. And then we can use this wherever we want. So if we wanted a user to be signed in to access any page at all, we would just put is logged in whatever routes we want to use it in. And in our case, we're going to go up to the comments, the create a new comment route that shows the form. We just need to put that right there. So when a user makes a GET request to the page with the form, comment/new, it will run is logged in first, and that will check if the user's logged in. If the user is logged in, it calls next, which will just call this code, which will end up with us seeing the comments form. If the user is not logged in, then we redirect to /login. Let's give it a shot. Make sure we don't have any syntax errors. Let's go back here and we'll go to the home page for now, or to the campgrounds page. Refresh. Now let's try adding a comment to Desert Mesa. Add new comment, and it takes me to login. One more time, add new comment, and it takes me to login. But now if I do log in, I'll do Severus again, and I log in. I can now add a comment. If I go back and click add new comment, I can now view the add new comment form. Excellent. There is one small issue, which is that we're not actually protecting the route that actually adds the comment in. So that's this one here, which is the post, app.post, campground/id/comments, which is where the form goes. Right now, we're just hiding the form from a user. We're not letting a user see the form if a user's not logged in. And that's great. Theoretically, someone could still send a post request. If I fired up Postman and I sent a post request right now to this URL, to a comment create route, it would create a comment. So let's add our is logged in here as well. And that will just prevent anyone from adding a comment unless they're logged in. And if they're not logged in, it will just redirect back to /login, just like we had before. Let's restart again. Okay, let's go back to campgrounds. Refresh. Okay, now let's try adding a new comment. I'm not logged in. Let's log in now. Severus, password. Now let's add a comment again. This time, I'll say, this is great. Yes, wonderful comment. And author will be Severus. And very soon, we won't actually have to explicitly type this. We'll just grab it from the user information. Click submit. And there's my comment. Excellent. So that's all we need to do there to prevent a user from adding a comment if he or she's not logged in.